What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and today we're going ahead and checking out a pair of truly wireless earbuds that have the best noise cancellation that I've ever tested out. For someone who reviews a lot of different earbuds, there's a few different priorities. The first one is the sound quality, the second one is the noise cancellation features, and in combination of that, which one has the best sound quality when in the active noise cancellation mode. Because traditionally, whenever the active noise cancellation is enabled, there's going to be a little bit of a difference in the sound quality, and with many options on the market today, all of them kind of have their own characteristic, but there's one particular company that does noise cancellation better than anybody, and that is Bose. So as a huge fan of their products, I want to give a huge thanks to Bose for sponsoring this video. And if you've been watching my channel for a few years, you know that in a typical year, I do a ton of traveling, about 100+ flights a year. And one of the most important pieces of tech is always the pair of headphones and the noise cancellation that comes with it. And my choice has been the Bose QC35s and the Bose 700s. And this right here is the Bose Quietcomfort Earbuds that are truly wireless and deliver amazing active noise cancellation while also giving you the signature Bose sound quality, and it's definitely in like the elite or premier line of truly wireless earbuds that have all the features that you might want, but the price does come in closer to the premium end of truly wireless earbuds. If you guys would like to win a pair for yourself, though, just go ahead and drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and also go ahead and follow me on Instagram and leave a comment down below of your favorite feature as well as your Instagram username, and I'll be picking a winner when this video hits 2,000 likes. Opening up the box, so you're gonna see the case as well as the earbuds inside, and there's also a USB Type-C cable that is included, and also the adjustable wing tips and earbud tips that allow you to get that perfect fit. It is called the Stay Here Max, and talking about the design and the actual comfort, what I do like about the Stay Here is that it is actually one piece of silicone that wraps all the way around. Instead of having like a separate piece for like the ear tip and actually the fin itself, having this unified piece just reduces the number of seams and just makes it feel very comfortable in the ear. The design itself is actually relatively minimal, and although it isn't like the smallest in terms of its overall form factor, there's a lot of technology and processing that is packed inside to give you the best noise cancellation and also sound quality. Looking at it itself, it just has like a seamless look. You also have like the Bose signature logo there, and as it wraps around, there's also the sensors and the 4 microphones that you're going to see throughout that all kind of come together to optimize the sound signature. From the overall comfort standpoint, I think most people are going to be the size 2, and in this case, when I go ahead and put them on, I just have to go like that, pop them in the ear, and just rotate a little bit, and as soon as the wingtip is kind of in the channel of the ear like so, then you're good to go. And the fit in general gives a really good seal to it and also feels quite light on the ear despite the size. When it comes to like active noise cancellation, the first most important thing is the overall fit, because if they're not comfortable and they don't provide that seal, then you're not going to be able to cancel out that outside noise very well, even with all the microphones that are in there. So in terms of like the comfort and design, I feel like it has a good aspect of minimal, but at the same time light, comfortable, and it also locks in very nicely with this fin right here. And it does also have an IPX4 dust and water resistance rating. The mesh that is integrated also does a good job of keeping dust and debris out. Even though these look like relatively minimal and aren't the smallest options out there, I think the best feature that we're going to talk a lot about is the sound quality and the active noise cancellation technology. Bose is obviously a pioneer in the noise cancellation audio space, and they really only release a new update to their flagship every few years, and each time it is always well refined. This is actually no different, and in terms of the main modes they have in the active noise cancellation, there is the aware mode and also the quiet mode. That is pretty self-explanatory. The quiet mode is able to block out all the noise outside, and it utilizes the 4 microphones to make a ton of micro calculations to give you the best noise cancellation possible that is optimized to the environment that you're in. What is also really cool though is that you can actually customize and fine tune the modes very, very specifically. It's kind of like the volume rocker where you can control the volume exactly the way you like, and that's the same thing that Bose has allowed you to do through the application with the noise cancellation as well. There are so many scenarios that this is very handy. So for example, you might just be at your desk and you just want to really be able to zone in, and in my case that might be video editing, conference calls, and just trying to block out the outside world for many hours at a time, even if I'm just at home. And if I'm going out for like a walk, I might just want to have like a completely quiet surrounding, getting rid of all of like the ambient noise of like the daily city commute, but at the same time ensuring that I'm aware of what's around me. Another really important scenario that I can also think about is when I'm in the car, for example, sitting in the passenger seat, there might be a conference call, and just being able to tune into that and hear what the other person is saying while also being able to respond to that without all these external distractions is really, really nice. Obviously, as I start flying again though, it's going to be really awesome to have a pair of active noise canceling earbuds that is able to block out all that ambient noise while having a truly wireless experience on a plane, just to make it easier to lay back and fall asleep while also listening to music. When it comes to the actual ActiveSense technology, it works incredibly. So for example, I might just be in the office where it's not really a loud situation, but there is a bit of ambient noise, and the microphone does a really good job of applying just enough white noise to be able to block out that ambient noise while also allowing me to enjoy the integrity of the music quality to its highest point. And as you go outside in the street, for example, and there's cars driving by, people chattering and all that kind of stuff, it is able to use a microphone to adjust it a little bit more accordingly. And even though I have tried out other earbuds that have the same technology, Bose just seems to do it best, and it's to the point where I really can't notice the application of noise cancellation, which is very, very important. With that though, kind of transitions me into the sound quality, and for a pair of earbuds that are at this price point, I definitely have high expectations of both the noise cancellation and the sound quality. And coming from Bose and being a huge fan of the products and a user for many, many years, I've already known that Bose is really good at refining the overall sound signature even when the active noise cancelling is enabled, and these earbuds are no different. I've tested out a ton of truly wireless earbuds at different price points this year, but I can say that for the price, the sound quality definitely does live up. It has like a very nice tuning to it where like the vocals really do stand out, the mids and the highs really do come out as well, and the bass emphasis is there, but I feel like it's like the perfect amount. I'm personally someone who doesn't really like a drowned out bass or something that is a bit overwhelming, but I found that these had a really good level of balance, but at the same time, it felt like the sound signature was very close to you, like somebody was like talking into your ear. And in a scenario where the active noise cancellation was on, that just made it like a very immersive experience. With the talks being like spatial audio and all of these optimizations, just to give you like that wider sound stage, I find that Bose has kind of taken a different approach. And even though it does kind of have like the acoustic signature of multiple dimensions sound, it really does focus on just bringing the music close to you so you feel like you're really a part of it. So easily the most impressive characteristic of the Bose Quietcomfort is the combination of how good the sound quality is even when that noise cancellation is applied. The other mode though is aware mode, and it still uses the ActiveSense technology to smart adapt to the environment and the amount of sound to ensure they're able to hear what is coming, but at the same time adjust the noise cancellation to a more comfortable level to still allow you to be aware of what's going on. And in this case, it did work very well. And with other earbuds that I've tested out this year, I found that the transparency mode was an area that often was a bit of like a shortcoming or like an afterthought, where it had like a bit of a delay when it uses the microphones and relays it back towards you, but that's something that I didn't notice here. It was generally able to do a really good job of being able to sense the environment for you and at the same time segment and filter out what is important. It's honestly not a mode that I use as much, but especially if you live in like a big city and are walking around the streets where it's super chaotic, it's sometimes good to fully block yourself out of it, but at the same time be able to switch over to the aware mode in case you're like crossing the street or something. A lot of the sound attribution can be credited to the active EQ technology that actually smart adjusts that gives you a good high fidelity audio experience. A lot of what I'm talking about though has to do with the Bose Music app, whether it's setting the actual EQ, the noise cancellation settings and modes, and all the modes that you're able to create as well. And on top of that, the software updates are also done through the app. And just looking at it, it actually shows the earbuds in the colors that I have it. You can adjust the volume right here, but with the modes, I also really like the fact that you're able to actually set between the quiet and aware mode, but also create a mode, whether it is commute, focus, outdoor, relax, run, and actually just be able to use the slider and very specifically tune the amount of noise cancellation that you need depending on the activity. For example, example, if I'm at home, it's generally pretty quiet. There's not much like ambient noise, and I can set that noise cancellation level a lot lower than I would have if I'm like on like a flight or something, where I'd have it set to the absolute maximum, but I wouldn't need to tune it down at all due to any like ambient danger, such as like an incoming car when I'm on the street. The EQ is also a great feature that I always like, because sometimes if you want to listen to like hip hop music, for example, you might want like a bass boost, and that will bring up that bottom end. But at the same time, even though you do have a lot of customization, it is very, very intuitive. It doesn't give you way too many specific parameters, and for like the general consumer like myself, being able to adjust it accordingly is really, really nice, because I don't want to have like 10 different settings. Having the bass, the mid, and the treble is enough, and it's able to allow me to fine tune that. To be honest, most of the time I actually like to just increase the treble a little bit, but in this case, I found that the default sound signature was actually already able to have a pretty balanced experience there that appeals to most listening types. When it comes to the shortcuts and gestures though, one great thing about having a large surface like this on the earbud is that these gestures are able to register very, very quickly. So over on the right side, you have all of your general controls of the play pause, and on the left side you actually have the switching between the different modes, such as the quiet and also the aware mode, and it will actually read out the mode that you're in, which makes it easier, especially when you're just trying to tap it and register it based on feel. On the left side, you can actually also set a shortcut, such as hear battery level, skip forward, skip back, or also to resume Spotify, and by touching and holding that left side, it will do that. It's no secret that these are definitely on the larger side in terms of their overall form factor, but at least like the touch features are really able to benefit from that. So now that we've talked about the active noise cancellation, the sound quality, and also the application, the core areas of the Bose Quietcomfort earbuds are excellent. Those are the things that you're really going to care about the most at this price point, but of course we still have to talk about the battery life and the case. Looking at the case itself, this is definitely not the smallest out there, similar to the form factor of the earbud. But within it, there are some features that I think are really nice, and if you're throwing in your backpack, it shouldn't be a problem, but in your pocket, it might be a little bit on the larger side. The first thing is that it doesn't flip open by itself. That is something that I noticed to be an issue on a lot of earbuds out there, and although some people like to be able to just take it out of your pocket, flick it open, and you're good to go, in this case, it actually does have a physical lock, and it keeps it in. Your earbuds are housed right here. You also have the Bluetooth Connect button, and on the front, you do have a 5-level battery indicator, which is really nice. Usually there's only like one, and in this case, having 5 gives you a very specific read on how much battery you have left, and on the back, it charges via USB Type-C. So generally speaking, the size is definitely not that compact, and that might be an issue for some. It's not to say that you can't fit it in your pocket, but it is a bit more noticeable. But other than that, in terms of like the actual functionality standpoint, I think they've done a really good job. The case also does support Qi wireless charging. When it comes to the battery life though, their claims about 6 hours with noise cancellation on. And from my experiences, I was actually able to get about 6.5 to 7 hours. And that is definitely something that is characteristic with Bose headphones, is that the battery life has always been really, really good. With any noise cancellation technology, there's a lot of processing that is going on. The microphones are constantly working. And so battery life claims can honestly be all over the place, depending on a few different variables, such as the noise cancellation level and also the volume of the music that you're listening to. But generally speaking, with the Bluetooth 5.1, I do find that a 6-hour target is really good for any true wireless earbud, because it's able to get you through like most of a flight in most cases, and also definitely through an entire day, if not a little bit into the second day. I would say for the most part, I'm usually charging my earbuds every 2 to 3 days if I'm using them sporadically. The case does give you an additional 12 hours, which is pretty respectable, but definitely not the most out there. And a 15-minute charge is able to give you 2 hours of listening, and the case itself takes 3 hours to charge, and the earbuds take 2 hours to fully charge in the case. So generally speaking, when it comes to the battery life, the earbuds themselves do a really good job, but when it comes to the case, for the size of it, I would have expected that it had a bit more reserve charge than the 12 hours. One feature that I do always like to see is Qi wireless charging on top of USB Type-C, which gives you a lot of versatility, and this case does support that. So with any Qi wireless pad that you have, just place the case on it and it will start charging right away. So when it comes to the actual call quality and the microphones, this is something that I usually don't pay too much attention to with smartphones or earbuds in general. And because nowadays phones have the 5G technology and you can make Wi-Fi calls, and as long as the message is able to get across with a typical phone call, it really does not matter that much. And The reason why I'm going to talk about it in this case is because there was something that I noticed, and that's the fact that even with the noise cancellation on, if I was in the phone call, it actually did a pretty good job of relaying my voice back to me in real time so that I'm not like yelling into the microphone. Whenever I'm wearing like AirPods or like something that is noise canceling, people always say I'm literally yelling at everything, whether you're on the call and talking to the microphone that is built into the earbud. And even though it doesn't really affect the call itself, it is just a little bit obnoxious, especially if you're in public, talking to your truly wireless earbuds and looking a little bit crazy. And in this case, because it's able to kind of relay a little bit of your own voice back to you, it does avoid that issue, which I thought was a cool feature. And in general, the microphone quality was pretty good. So at the end of the day, at the price point, do I feel like the Quietcomfort earbuds are worth it? And if you're looking for great noise cancellation and great sound quality, there's no better company than Bose. And in that aspect, the answer to that is yes. The noise canceling on these earbuds is the best that I've ever tried out. The sound quality is really good, especially in the noise cancellation mode. And with the active EQ and the adaptability of it, as well as the active sense technology and the overall comfort of these earbuds, I found the experience in terms of what these earbuds are set out to do was excellent. The app was also very nice to navigate, and to have 10 levels of noise cancellation adjustment is really nice to get that fine tuning and customization, and I can't wait to wear these on a flight. Even though I love my Bose 700 headphones, I already bring a ton of stuff when I travel, whether it's a laptop, all the camera equipment, the tripods, a bunch of other stuff to go with it. And if there's anywhere that I can kind of get the similar experience in an earbud form and just slim down that travel pack just a little bit, then these are definitely going to be my go-to as soon as I start traveling again. The only small complaints I do have at the end of the day is that the case is a little bit bulky and doesn't exactly look great, and also the fact that the earbuds themselves in terms of the form factor are definitely on the larger side, and it may not be for everyone, but with the Stay Here Max tips and just the general ergonomics and form factor of it, it still does feel very light and comfortable if you can get over the aesthetics of a larger earbud. So if you guys want to go ahead and check it out for yourself, I'm going to go ahead and drop a link below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, drop a like, and I'll see you all in the next one.